Hello and welcome, Mom Setters. I am Amanda Haywood, and first of all, I want to welcome all of our new moms to our community. We are absolutely thrilled that you are here and just so happy that you're here so that we can connect and get to know you and, work together on our different journeys as moms. I wanted to hop on tonight because I wanted to go over a couple of things that I think might be helpful for busy moms. And you may have noticed that the title of the live was, are you busy with your busyness or are you busy being fruitful? And some of you might be thinking, what the hell does that mean, right? You might be thinking, I'm a mom, of course I'm busy, and I try to get as much as I can done every single day, right? That doesn't always happen, but I'm busy. So what is the difference? What is the difference between being busy with our busyness or being busy but also being fruitful or also being productive, right? Now, for me, if I'm thinking of my day, I'm like, wow, I did a lot of things. It was super busy. Then I'm like, did I really accomplish everything that I wanted to get done? No. And why is that, right? Why is that? So I wanted to go over some things. And have you ever felt like you were busy because you were afraid or you had a difficult time saying no, right? Your friend or somebody in your family asked you to do something and you already had so many things on your plate, but you just felt guilty and felt bad saying no, so you said yes. Type in the chat if you've ever done something and you were like, I don't have time for this, I don't want to do this, but you did it anyways because you were afraid of what other people were going to think or you were afraid of disappointing them. I know I have. The main reason why people are so busy with their busyness and not being productive or fruitful is because they're afraid to say no, because they don't want to disappoint those around them. They don't want to disappoint those that they love, and they're afraid of what people are going to think. Now, my husband always tells me that it's none of my business what other people think of me. And he's right. It's not our business. But why do we care so much? It's crazy. It really is crazy. And why are we afraid to disappoint other people? We have the right to say no. If we're too busy with stuff, we have the right to say no. And if they're upset about it, then that's on them, right? We've got to do what's right for ourselves. So I'm going to talk about 5 different ways or 5 tips that can help you edit your life, trim your life back so that you are busy, but busy being productive. So you're not just busy running around in circles, doing things for everybody else and not getting anything done, but you're going to be busy being productive, busy with your own passions, busy with your dreams and your goals and things that make you fulfilled. How do we know what to edit out? So 5 tips. First one that's going to help you edit and trim your life is being proactive and not reactive. Now, what does that mean, right? Proactive means that you're making an edit on purpose. So you're thinking ahead of something and you're saying, okay, this doesn't serve me. I know that if I do this, I'm going to be behind the 8 ball. I'm going to be super tired. It's going to put me in a bad mood. So I'm going to choose to edit that out and say no to this tomorrow. Being reactive, right, is reacting because you have an overcommitted schedule. So for example, tomorrow you've got work, you've got to take the kids to soccer practice, then you have a PTO meeting, and then your best friend wants you to make cookies for the birthday party that they're having this weekend, right? So you're going through your day, and you're getting everything done that needs to get done, but you're behind, you're tired, you're cranky, and then all of a sudden you're like, screw it, I'm not making these cookies. They can just have the party without the cookies, right? You're reacting, okay? You didn't edit ahead of time, right? You edited right there in the moment, okay? So choosing to be proactive and not reactive when it comes to editing things. So you're making an edit on purpose, or you're not making it because you're overcommitted already. So again, that happens because you don't want to disappoint the other person. Number 2 is discover what needs editing. So you want to ask yourself, right? What are you doing in life right now that you would be relieved if you were able to stop doing? So I want you to think about that for a second. Think about everything that you're doing in your life. What is one thing that would bring a huge relief if you could stop doing it? If you know what that is, type it in the chat. If you know that you wouldn't disappoint anyone, you wouldn't upset anybody, if you could just say no to that one thing, what would it be? What would you let go of? Number 3, look for areas in your life that are not fruitful. Okay, you're not producing. These could be things that you like, things that you enjoy doing, things that you're good at, but maybe you're not having the outcome that you were expecting or that you really wanted. You're looking around and there's no evidence of it producing anything. It's not being productive. So whether that's bringing in extra money, maybe that's bringing in, just something extra that you need around the house, like whatever the case may be. If it's not producing that, is it really worth doing? If it's not having an impact that you really want or desire, is it really worth your time? Number 4, look at where God, spirit, or intuition, okay? Look at where that's calling you. What is it telling you to do? That little voice, that initial thought that pops into your head that, that's it, right? What is it telling you to do? Where is it leading you? What's it calling you to do? If you're having a feeling that some of the stuff you're doing is not your true purpose or not your calling, then maybe you should think about letting it go. Because when you let it go, you have more space freed up for the things that really are your passion and your calling. Number 5, examine what may be hindering you. And this might not always be easy. Sometimes we have a hard time seeing things that are holding us back or that are hindering us in any way. So you might have to make a list. You might have to do some pros and cons for things. You might have to really start journaling and thinking about your day, what you're doing, and what may be hindering you in any way. It might be something worth doing. So editing your life can be so important. It can be an amazing tool that you can use. And it's not going to be easy at first, but it definitely can be helpful for you so that you're not being busy with your busyness and not being fruitful. So again, those 5 tips that can help you edit your life. Number 1, be proactive and not reactive. Number 2, discover what needs editing. Number 3, look for the areas in your life that are not fruitful. And again, those things could be things that you really like and enjoy. But if they're not having the impact that you desire, then you might need to edit them out. Number 4 is look at where God or your spirit or intuition is calling you. And number 5, examine what might be hindering you. Now, if you found those 5 tips helpful, you may want to look into reading a book called Breaking Busy. It's called How to Find Peace and Purpose in a World of Crazy, and it's by Allie Worthington. And those tips that I just got were from that story or from that book, and she gives a lot of stories in here about how to break being busy and be productive. And as moms, it is super challenging, as a lot of you may know. I will put a link to this in Amazon in the comments after the live is over so that if you're interested in purchasing it, you can. It's a great read. She also has a couple other books, Standing Strong, and some other books that are really, really good. So if you are interested in them and stuff, I can put those in the comments as well. So I hope you found these tips helpful. Stay tuned again. We'll be coming live with some more helpful tips for busy moms on Friday. Have a great night, everybody.